Can you guess what we're going to talk about? Super excited for this next episode. I don't know what's gonna happen. The last one ended pretty, I don't even know I don't even know how to explain it. Like Kodachi Kuno match, girls under the mat, all sorts of madness. If you didn't see that episode, go back and watch it, because seriously, it's worth another look. Yeah, so hopefully, like I keep saying, the last few episodes, I'd like to see some mousse, I'd like to see some shampoo and ukiyo and okonomiyakis and all the good bits and the ramen that shampoo makes. Oh my god, now I want ramen. Why did I do that? Yeah, so yeah, let's do this. I really like what they did with this new intro. I know they do a new intro every time, and I always say I like it, but they do a really good job. So they do like a implied magic show sort of thing. Really funny, because it'd be absolutely astonishing to the crowd, but everybody else on the inside knows how, you know, the magic is done, the sausage is made, or however they would phrase it. Really cute. And of course, Pichan's in it, so of course. So the episode opens on an ice rink. You see Akane basically chatting with her friends around a table around like the food courty part of the ice rink, and then she realizes she left Pichan on the rink. How can you leave Pichan anywhere? Seriously? You don't deserve him. So you meet a new character, Azusa, the Looney Tune. Her and her partner are both Looney Tunes. And she's skating around on the ice rink and she sees Pichan by himself. Why did Akane leave Pichan by himself? And she sees him and scoops him up and decides to take him home. I would do the exact same thing. I totally don't blame her. But why did Akane leave him alone? Seriously. I think it's really funny how the guys at the ramen shop with Ranma are like interrogating him about whether or not he's related to the other Ranma. And like they go through all the details and they get more crazy in the face. Love it. The two schoolmates are demanding that he turn over the other Ranma to them, like the girl, as they put it, who's perhaps related to him, because he took Akane's chastity and they basically can't have all of them to himself. Like, what? Oh my god, people? Because people are property. So Akane comes in and she's mad, but Ranma's not sure what, so he does this like martial arts stance and backs up really, really quickly. Really neatly done. How like they're barely moving, but the implied movement is everything around them is smudge in one solid direction. Really, really, really cool. So you find out she's not that she's mad, she's determined. And she can't find Pichan. I wonder why. And she wants Ranma to help. Hopefully he does, because poor Mr. P, he's been kidnapped. They do all the crazy overemphasis, like manga style, find Pichan, because the whole thing with Pichan is like, technically, regularly, he's always missing because he's Ryoga and like lost all the time. This instance, of course, he's actually missing, but like Ranma doesn't know the P's and Q's, so he's just like, what? So as Ranma's talking to Akane about the whereabouts of Pichan kind of thing, so they show Pichan sauntering in, knocked out in that crazy girl's arms from the ice rinks, and it literally reads like passed out, knocked out on his eyes with like little characters. I love it. So Akane accosts the girl and says, you know, basically that's Pichan, and the girl's like, no, that's Charlotte. And it goes back and forth, and then it shows Pichan with like a super flat background and the two names and him flipping back and forth. So this unnamed guy gets in the middle of the two of them, scoops up Pichan from the Looney Tune, and hands it to Akane, all dreamy-eyed. So he says, sorry for my partner, we'll find out soon. And that basically they imply that she has a habit of collecting cute things. So Pichan ends up back with Akane. Yay. So that Looney Tune girl is mad at her partner and starts smacking him in the back of the head. He's ignoring her, then starts smacking him with what looks like a metal dinner plate. And he's ignoring her. And then she picks up a bar bench and starts smacking him in the back of the head. Crazy. They do an interesting thing here with the coloration of this scene where she attacks her partner. everything's red around her, implying some sort of rage or something like that. And they keep her clothing the same color, this pink tone, but they do like an aqua washover on her, which is pretty close to a split complementary to the background. I don't understand the choice, but sure. So the girl points to her and challenges her. And Akane says, to a fight. And then the girl goes, what am I, a savage? Ice skating. So we have the same thing transpire like in the last episode. Instead of to date Ranma or whatever that nonsense was, it's whoever gets peach on. Ice skating, huh? I did grow up in Canada. Can I put my hat in the ring? Akane's friends point out that they're actually a semi-famous duo and that they recognize them for figure skating, and this may not be so easy for Akane. So as the couple go to leave, this guy totally super schmoozes hard on Akane and like leans in, and there's all these like flowers and fluffy, except Akane's not having any of it, so Rama's had enough, and he flings a fish cake out of his ramen at the guy's face. I love it. Those are really yummy, by the way. So this Looney Tune interprets it as a challenge letter. So is this gonna be a duels match? Figure skating Rama. So this guy's partner is completely crazy. She's excited that there's gonna be a battle basically. So she takes that metal plate again, starts smacking her partner in the head, and then goes to grab a table, and he like loses it and gets so angry. His head inflames to like, I'd say like 25 times the size it normally would be as he yells at her. Really, really slapsticky, super fantastic, and almost like Haposai reminiscent in the way they drew him. We haven't seen Haposai yet. I don't know if we will because of the nature of that character or what they'll do with him. But yeah, for those who know, you know. So they have Akane and Ranma walking home. Beautiful cotton candy sky, of course, and Ranma walking on the fence as typical him. As Ranma's walking on the fence, he haphazardly mentions that she can't interpret him throwing the Naruto. Yes, that's the name of the fish cake piece. I know. And as anything more than just like the guy being more or less gross, and that he doesn't like Playboy kind of guys like that. And then she was like, you didn't have to bother. And he gets what seems to be visibly jealous or shocked or something of the sort because of her answer. And Ranma's like, you can't tell me you like something like that. And Akane was like, you're a little behind. If you had been like a point whatever slower with the piece of Naruto, I would have cracked his chin open. Okay, excuse me. Super tough face, really aggressive, looks really good. Really nice outside the house, nighttime shot over the pond at the dojo. I want to go sit on the edge of the rock and put my feet in the pond. I know you're not supposed to, but I want to. So I love what they do in the next scene. It's implying a change of season without actually out and out saying it's a change of season. Everybody's sitting in the common room on the tatami, half of them underneath the kotatsu. Kotatsu is a Japanese table used in the colder months. So it's like a coffee table that you could put your lower half under, and then it has a blanket, and then it has another piece of wood that's the same size as the top. And underneath the table itself, there's a heater, usually like a little electric heater. I really wanted one growing up, but I have not the best reputation with things that tend to catch fire. So I even have LED candles. I don't mess around. So I'll have to go and try that when I go to Japan at some point. But I definitely cannot have one myself. I need to play smart and safe. But yeah, really cute shot. And I love that Genma, even though he's covered in fur, is taking part in it. And in a lot of animes you see like the cat's missing and the cat's under there because it's nice and snuggly warm and that sort of thing. And Japanese houses are notorious for running cold, so really sweet. So as they're sitting there eating mandarins, which also implies a certain time of year, really cute nod. If anybody knows the significance of mandarins at a certain time of year, way to go you, comment down below. Let's see what you know. Ryoga comes busting in. He's holding like like a whole bath set, like he's gonna go take a bath, which honestly reminds me of the days when I used to run backpackers when I was living abroad in Australia, where you had to like carry around all your stuff. It's nice, reminiscent, but yeah. So he comes in and starts talking about how he knows how to ice skate and he should fight with Akane. I'm sure this isn't gonna go well. People who aren't literally born into skates with French Canadian fathers, I don't know. I feel like they have a harder time skating. I mean, I have a hard time skating and I've been doing it forever. Like, do I know how to stop? Sometimes. Yeah, what can I say? Not a great Canadian. Ranma is basically like, what do you know about ice skating, Charlotte? So mean. And speaking of which, it completely transitions immediately to them on the ice rink. And Ranma and Ryoga clearly are rushing to get on the rink together, and they both put one foot on, one foot off, and boop, right on their butts. Yep, while Akane looks down at them like, mm-hmm. And it has the manga bubble, and it's lovely and slapsticky and linear and a little SD looking, even though they aren't shrunk down, but just like face style wise. I love it. I love this next scene. I had to teach a friend of mine years ago how to ice skate. He was significantly larger than myself. I'm 5'7" and weigh about 110 pounds, and he was well over 6 foot, clearing 220. And they show a scene here where Akane is pulling Ranma along as a female, so it's a little easier for her in this instance. And Ranma's like half squatting, flailing his arms, trying to get his equilibrium going, or her arms in this instance. And this little kid is going by lapping him. And that's exactly what happened to my friend that time. It's not easy, I'm telling you. It's fun though, and a good leg workout, but not easy. And unforgiving when you fall. Akane's like, basically like, man up. You know, like, aren't you a man? And she's like, I'm currently a girl. Opportunistic much? And more or less, Ranma's embarrassed by what's going on. And so is Akane, clearly, with this like purpley smoke of like teardroppy kind of face. Yep. So the ice skating girly skates past them, knocks into Akane, almost knocking her over, and basically tells Akane that, you know, she thinks that she'll have problems with her partner. And they show Ranma female like sliding backwards somehow all the way to the other end of the rink, which is really hard to do, by the way, with like a swirl of her like yelling as she's going, implying the distance that she's traversing as she's doing this, which is a really sweet move. So as always in these situations, Ranma's flying backwards as a girl, and that weird ice skating girl's partner scoops her/him up by the waist, all like sweet and whatever. And I assume he's going to be smitten with her? We'll see. So as he does this to Ranma, he obviously pulls on the schmooze factor like he did with Akane, and Ranma read him right the first time when he was walking on the fence that he's just like a wannabe player, and it's like really gross basically. And then his partner skates by and kicks him in the head. They then show him a second later with his head cocked back still, like it hurts. How is he okay? There's a massive blade on that shoe. In conversation with Akane, Ice Skatey Girly reveals that they do some sort of training that the term escapes me. And then they show them fighting what appears to be like 100 hockey players? Okay, So the couple uses a mix of ice skating moves with incredible amounts of violence that can be committed with blades strapped to your feet. So dark. How is there no blood? I like that some of the hockey players have like the old school masks like they did before helmets were mandatory in the NHL. If any of you guys know anything about hockey, you would know. I'll put an image in. But yeah, really neat. Akane and Ranma are watching this. There are hockey players in full gear, splayed everywhere, beaten to a pulp. And Ranma's like, oh, it's martial arts ice skating. Yeah, I can beat anything with the word martial in it, as her legs are trembling. Everybody should have that level of confidence. Hey, Ranma? Akane turns and sees Pichon running with a pair of skates in his mouth on the ice, and everybody's chasing him because he's such a cutie. And then you see Akane immediately let go of Ranma, and Ranma's so unstable on the ice that he starts to spin almost like a cardboard cutout. Really cutely done, the anime. Super, super flat. Really well achieved. And then when Akane runs to Pichon, there's like the golden light and they're about to like link, and that crazy lady jumps in and takes Charlotte. No. She has a present for Charlotte. A little pink heart necklace. Why? So Akane sees this necklace, she's none too pleased about it, she tries to take it off, and as she's taking it off, she's clearly using too much force, and Pichon looks like he's not doing so hot. And then Looney Tune there just pulls out a key. So Akane takes this declaration basically, and she's just like, I'm gonna beat you kind of thing, and all of a sudden you hear Ranma flailing in the background and they zoom out. And it's that stressy purple smoke that they had from earlier, the embarrassed smoke, because Ranma's basically falling and being whiny about it, and I think Akane's starting to realize that this may not go her way. The creepy dude then scoops up Ranma, and he's all sparkly, and she's just like, leave me alone, and he's like, I'll teach you how to skate, and he's just creeping. So many creeps. So this guy full on, like, retro Pepe Le Pew's Ranma female. Right on the lips, and yeah, no. So everyone's really shocked. Obviously Akane and Pichon are super shocked because they know what's going on with the Ranma female character. Akane is literally blue-purple, that color of like embarrassment and unnervedness that we've seen earlier. Her drawing is very linear and cartoony and uncomfortable, a little bit, not exactly Uncanny Valley, but like, yeah, I guess Uncanny Valley, because it's like not exactly human looking. Same thing with Pichon, really weird, flat, angular. None of the round features are round anymore. And then it cuts to Ranma, who is so shocked he starts to melt basically and dissolve, and then he starts to turn gray, and then the background starts to crack up like as if it's glass, complete with word bubble. And then it zooms out and shows him in actuality, not just his like emotional feeling, and well, I mean, and his emotional feeling. His broken apart pieces assemble themselves, and then he runs screaming from that guy, obviously. And it's crazy and really uncomfortable to watch because I understand the feeling. So what happens next? Ranma keeps running and runs into a men's bathhouse as a girl, with barely a towel covering her, only some parts, I'm gonna have to blur out the others, runs through, scares all these poor men, and dives into the bath. Of course, he'll come out as a man, but still, like, I understand the feeling to have to wash that off, that's for sure. So what's really telling here is Ranma then, while he's in the tub, underwater for the few seconds, changing back into a guy, the thought that goes through his head is, of all things in front of Akane, interesting, why does he care so much what Akane thinks? And then he pops out as a dude, fully rage, and he's ready to fight. So Ranma gets out onto the ice as himself, as a man, and he is so angry. They did this really interesting thing here where like when fire rages, it crackles, and it almost visually through camera sometimes takes on this pixelated visual, and he has that exact same thing. So Ranma punches the rink. His opponent is basically like damaging the rink is a penalty of like hundreds of deaths kind of thing, like a disrespect thing. And then Ranma jumps at him. The problem is he's so angry, he's not fighting very well, and the guy effortlessly skates past him, and Ranma punches into the ice and has his feet out, and it looks ridiculous and insane. So Ranma's in trouble now because his opponent is about to use the signature move, the Dance of Death. They did a really cool, eerie, like 1980s horror movie thing where like it's bleeding down in the shape of what the move is. Really, really neat. It appears that Ranma may have met his match. The Dance of Death is executed, and Ranma's moving as quick as Ranma does, and usually no one can outpace him. but this guy totally is, and he's spot on and on. And then it makes this like weird little purple tornado, and it's hard to discern exactly what's happening. But then you see Rama thrust up into the air, and his silhouette in the moonlight upside down, like he's being tossed away. So Ranma falls down in an upside down cross, basically smashing into the ice. It looks like it's TKO. Akane skates over to him and he kind of flips over, tries to get his balance and falls again. And everybody's like, okay, what's going on? Is this the end of the match? Did Ranma lose? And what happens? Well, Akane drags Ranma away and his partner skates by and she's all like braggy about it. And Akane very nonchalant's like, Ranma won. And she's like, what? And she looks over at her partner and he's completely frozen in like a winning stance, like a figure skating position kind of thing. And she goes over it and waves her hand in front of his face. Rien personne. There's nobody home. There's nobody home. What is going on? And what happens? All the hockey players and his partner take this opportunity to write all over his face with Sharpies. What? So ridiculous. So I guess Ranma did win. He just TKO'd while standing up. I guess that's an achievement. So Ranma and Akane are talking about the match, and Ranma basically says that he would have done more to the guy because he deserved what he had done to him. And then Katsumi and Nabiki start asking questions about the match, and Ranma won't disclose what happened, obviously, because he's embarrassed. And then Ryoga comes in and spills the beans, but he comes in saying how embarrassing it was. Meanwhile, he's still wearing the collar, like the pink collar with the heart. So, what? Pot kettle much? And Ryoga outs him, and then Akane and Nabiki double down, and so do Ryoga, about how, well, it wouldn't be that bad if your first kiss was like some handsome guy, as long as it wasn't your first kiss. And they like double and triple down on like the implication, and they do all this like anime like flattening him out, like smashing him with things, and then he literally is like a wafy piece of paper that just like saunters onto the floor. Really cute, really smart, really like the idea. So Akane finds Ranma in the dojo. He's kind of sulking and he's like, fine, go ahead and have a laugh at me. So she laughs, but it's almost like an awkward laugh, like almost like making him feel better laugh or something. It just feels that it doesn't really feel genuine. And then she basically says that it's funny because like, how did he put his guard down and have that happen? It's like he gets too into the fight and then isn't like, he has like a hole basically somewhere like that. And then to make his point, as she's like doing bandages on his face, he like scoops her up. And when he scoops her up, there's this like weird, awkward tension. And he was like, oh no, I wasn't gonna kiss you, and da-da-da. And it goes back and forth. And then it turns into this weird dare with the kiss. And then he implies, he doesn't go through with it. He's like awkward. There's like a huge amount of space in the dojo. And it implies like the cold airiness that is going on and the awkwardness. Like it just echoes it. And then he says that, you know, she should really do that with someone who likes her. And it weirdly makes her mad. And Akane's like, I guess you don't want to do that with me. And Rama's like, no, that's not the case, kind of thing. But the way he protests is like way over protesting, like overcompensating. And then it gets awkward again. And then it cuts to everybody in the household being by the door of the dojo, being like, come on, just get it over with. Like, it's so ridiculous. And Katsumi calls them late bloomers. Like, what the hell? So crazy. And then it pans to the guy all beaten up, covered with like Sharpie all over, like vowing to get revenge, like full on flame on. I'm sure we'll see him again. So that was the end of the episode. What did you guys think? I was happy to see Pichan and his cuteness. Yeah, I don't really blame the girl for trying to steal him. He's a cutie patootie. Everybody wants Pichan. You saw the madness on the ice rink. I love the ice skating and the hockey players and that whole bit. As a Canadian, that's what I love to see. And it's coming into that time of year, so perfectly timed. And I love the kotatsu. It's nice to see again, like the furniture and all the little nuance references implying the time of year and this and that. The gorgeous moonlight scenes at night and the sunsets, they always do a good job, and the silly slapsticky nature of the show. I just hope that they steer clear of the repetitive nature of the original in this remake here. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so if you like this episode, Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you love this episode, I have a Patreon that has its own little doodads on there. And I have a couple reaction videos coming up. Hopefully you guys like them. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this episode. It was an interesting one. And I'll see you soon. Bye.